Okay, so we're here back with another one. Let's get into it. Is college worth it? I say yes, but I bring this up because I've talked to someone recently. They say that they feel stuck in life. They feel stuck. They're at a dead end job. Yes, they're enrolled in college, but that's only put them in debt. They don't know if they're gonna finish. They're over the age of 25. They're at a community college. Uh, they got some medical debt. They got to pay off some medical debt. Had an injury at a job, at their best job that they ever had. They had an injury. Went to the doctor. Got a medical bill worth thousands. This was years ago, and it's still not paid off, and they're still not making payments towards it. I don't know if it's affecting their credit. Could be. They're gambling all the time. Hold on. They're gambling all the time. They're taking out these payday loans to gamble. They're getting weekly paychecks at a job that they do not like. No, they feel stuck. Is it their fault? Or is it life's fault? Did he not get opportunities that everyone else had? Is everybody from his environment stuck? No, no. Mm-mm. Nobody else is stuck but him. Why does he feel stuck? Life is not going the way he wanted. He sees this fake life on social media. That's he's comparing himself to the wrong things. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he is actually behind. Still lives with his parents over the age of 25. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Prices went up. They shot up. A $600 apartment is now 1,200. Trailer park home is now 1,000 a month. That's why. That's why people are still living with their parents. That's why this younger generation is still living with their parents. So, how did this happen? Is college worth it? I mean, he's in college. He's supposed to be getting his degree in something in electrical, maybe a trade or something. I forgot. He's supposed to be making $30 an hour out of college. What's wrong with that? That's good money if you finish. But hey, it puts you in debt. He's already taken out the FAFSA loans. He says he doesn't know if he's going to go back because he's maxed out on the FAFSA loans. No. You know, he maxed out on the FAFSA loans. He doesn't want to get a private loan because the interest rate and it goes up immediately. You have to start making payments immediately instead of after you get a job or 6 months after graduation. He feels stuck because of that. He doesn't know what to do. He's at some dead end jobs. He's trying to apply to jobs. They're not responding. He got a second job. They're cutting his hours. They cut his hours at his main job. Is his family karma? Is God teaching him a lesson? Or is this just the game of life? You have to play the game, make the right decisions from a very young age to be comfortable slash successful at an older age. People think success comes in a year, in 2 years. Comfortability comes in a year and 2 years. That it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't work that way. Comfort and success comes from at least 8 years of hard work with no results. Think about it. At least 4 years of high school. Get into a great college, Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Princeton, Cornell, you know, Ivy League. It takes 4 years of great high school. Then it takes another 4 years of great college to get that degree. And if you need a higher education, it takes longer. That's just success for the average person. The average person can go to school and get good grades and get a job. The better school you go to, the better job you get, really, basically, in this economy. That's what you have to do. At least 8 years of hard work with no results, no money in your pocket to finally get that 200,000 a year job, 150,000 a year job, 300,000 a year job. And then if you want that 1 million plus a year job, guess what you got to do? You have to excel at your job over everybody else. How are you gonna excel at Amazon over a dude that went to Harvard, got all A's, is a tech genius, tech wizard, knows everything about tech, even stuff that he doesn't need to know? How are you gonna compete against that? You can't, unless if you're just like him. I mean, if that's the only way you can make a million as an employee. He wants to be an employee. He, of course, he wants to have his own business, but let's get into that later. He's an employee. He wants to make money as an employee so he can invest. I guess I don't know his plans. I don't know if he has new plans. I try to tell him about business investing. Buying a business is one of the most lucrative things you can do. He doesn't want to listen. I don't know. I guess he wants to be an employee and make more money. Then, well, you gotta have a good job. You're not gonna get a good job at the medium sized or the small sized business. You're not gonna get rich that way. They don't pay 1 million a year. The people who pay 1 million a year, the big companies, Amazon, big tech. If you're not in tech, it could be a big marketing agency, or if you're a lawyer, it could be a big law firm, or if you're a doctor, it could be a hospital. That's in surgery facilities. But you need something somewhere. Like I said in my earlier video, first you need a good job. If you're born broke, if you're broke as an adult, you need a good job at first. The best way to get a good job is to go to school and go to college. That's the best way to get a good job. If you can go for free, go for fucking free, man. You need to go for free. Going for free is what you. I go to college for free right now. Get it all paid for. You can get a scholarship. You can get grants. You need to do anything to take that payment down, because going to college for free is where it's at. If you have kids, you need to pay for their college. You need to make that investment. You need to build generational wealth for your family. I go to college for free, like I said, in the IT field, IT degree, cybersecurity. But you need to get a good job, and that's the first step to get rich. You need to get a good job so you can save enough money to invest. If you're only saving 2 to 20,000 by the end of the year, that's all you got extra in your bank account. That's bad. You need to be saving 40 grand a year, 50 grand a year minimum if you want to make these investments to sit on your butt and never have to work again and make money while you sit on your butt, and then be able to invest the money that you make while sitting on your butt and be able to live off the money that you make while you sit on your butt. You got to get the good job and make the investments first. That's where it starts. So it basically starts in middle school. Build up your knowledge so you can succeed in high school. Build up your knowledge so you can succeed in college. Build up your knowledge so then you can succeed in the job and, well, in the interview. Then after the interview, after you pass it, and they train you, you work, and then they pay you based on what you're worth. I'm not gonna lie. These six-figure interviews, want me to tell you the secret about them? They're for the geniuses, man. It's hard to make 1 million a year at one of these big tech companies. Most people, most of the smartest people that you know, they can only make 200,000 a year max at these big tech companies. That's how hard it is to make it in them. That's how hard it is to get the money from these companies. You have to be very smart. You have to be very savvy. You have to be an expert in your field for them to take a chance like that on you. When someone at work doesn't know the problem, doesn't know how to fix it, doesn't know how to build it, you have to know. That's the difference from that 1 million a year. That's the difference from that 100,000 a year and 50,000 a year job. You have to. They rely on you once you get paid over 100K a year. They rely on you. And if the $1 million a year, 100,000 a year guy can't fix it, guess what they have to do? They have to spend thousands and thousands, sometimes even millions, on an IT consulting agency just to fix the problem. I think like each PhD that the IT consulting puts on the project to fix your issue for your company, it's at least 175 an hour for each PhD that's on there. That's a lot of money. Imagine 100 PhDs, $175 an hour. That's 175,000 an hour. Your problem can be that big. Remember the Microsoft thing with they all went out, all the airplanes couldn't fly because Microsoft had a down time from the software update. Yeah, that costs money to fix. And if Microsoft keeps having those problems, the companies are going to be forced to switch to a different software company that doesn't have these problems that cost thousands of millions to fix. You know, the airplane companies had to spend millions just to fix that problem, and all they had to do was restart it a certain way, restart the program a certain way, and Microsoft had to fix the update first. That's all they had to do. Cost millions to fix, but they make millions. They can afford it. They can afford to lose 10, 15 million to find a problem. If you're just starting a business, you can't. That's why you need a good job to buy you a business that already fixed all their problems. Buy you a business that's profitable and that's healthy and that's good. Businesses that are profitable, healthy, and good, they cost millions. They cost high hundreds of thousands. I say you need at least $80,000 and good credit just to get the business that you want to buy. If you're broke, if you're already a millionaire and rich, you need about 500,000 to get the business that you really want. That $5 million business with good credit, because you can only get that with 10% down with good credit, like I talked about in my earlier video. But yes, at first you need the good job. Then you need to save your money. Then you need to invest that money, whether it's stocks, businesses, bonds, T-bills, gold. It needs to be diversified as well. You need to have some in real estate, some in business, some in stocks, some in bonds, some in gold. If you make 5 million tomorrow, you need to diversify that 5 million. Don't just invest it into one thing like stocks, like the S&P 500. S&P goes down. A couple years ago, the S&P went down 45%. So you're going to lose, you're going to go down to 2.5 million, your whole net worth after 5 million. People who made their first million in a couple years ago and put it in the S&P, all of it, they lost 45%. Good thing it recovered and they gained 82% the next year. So it doubled. They got their money back. But that doesn't happen all the time. I won't even lie. If you're a dude out here who's tried everything, you realize something. Nothing is anything without perseverance. You need that perseverance to make it in this life, to not feel stuck. You need perseverance. You need hard work. You're never going to get lucky in anything. In anything. I don't care if it's social media. I don't care if it's as simple as picking up your camera and talking through a mic. You're not going to make it with anything without perseverance. That's a fact. A fact. You won't make it nowhere without perseverance. I promise you that. You might have to do the same thing over 100 times just to get the right formula. Just to get the right formula, you know what I'm saying? just to get the right formula. You got to do it 100, 200 times, sometimes even 1,000, 10,000 times. You need the right formula that's going to work, that's going to make you the money. That's the downside of investments, side hustles, everything. I don't care if you made 10 million and you're going to invest it. You need the right plan and the right knowledge, the right failures, the right education. You need the perseverance just to get through it, just to get the education on how to invest that 10 million and make it 100 million, make it 20 million, make it 15 million, make it 11 million. You need to have that kind of expertise. A lot of people will come to you once they hear, oh, he made 10 million. Let me go email him. What's his number? They can find your number, find your email. They'll start emailing you, start contacting you. They'll start doing everything in their power just to make you invest their money, your money into them. They have projects that they want you to invest in. That's how a lot of people make it. A lot of these people are funded by investors that they went out to go get. They saw some successful person make 10 million, some lucky person win the lottery, win 300 million. They start hitting them up. They start hitting them up. Oh, can you invest in this? I'll give you a percentage. The people that listen to those people, they lose all their money. All their money is lost and gone forever. That's what happens when you trust people. You should be going out. If you make your first money, you should be going out finding your own team of investors. The investors should never be going out to find you. You want an investor to fund your project, something that I don't even know you can do. People that get VC funding, guess what? They're looking for investors, and investors are also looking for them. That's different. If you won the lottery and you have 100 people email you, oh, invest this 3 million, invest this 10 million, invest this 25 million, do this, do that, they're either scamming you or they want you to fund their project. They're serious. They think they can make it, but you got to vet them. You got to see everything about them. You can't just trust them. But you see, I try to tell my friend that feels stuck, I try to tell him stuff like this. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to gain this knowledge. It's too or it's too much for him to comprehend. He doesn't want to educate himself. He doesn't want to ask AI every question he has. You have a whole mentor in your phone, AI. You'll ask him about Lil Wayne, G Herbo, but you won't ask him how to buy a business, how to start a business, how do I get funding, how do I get money to invest. There's people who, if you're good enough, there's people who will invest in you to invest for them and give you a percentage. There's people who will give you $100 million to invest. People will give you $100 million to invest if you have the education. And if you prove you have the education and prove it with results. But he doesn't want to listen to that. He wants to get a job, not go to school, not get a good job. He doesn't even want to get a job in sales or construction or anything. He just wants to work his front desk job at a hotel or his fast food job, whatever job he can get very easily and make $1 million from that. He wants it to be given to him. He wants. You just telling me the other day he wants the owner of the business that he works at to cut him in on some business. He was like, "Oh, I'll run the store from you. I'll help you expand stores. I'll take over this store. You can expand." How do you want him to take a chance like that on you? But you're not even saving money. You're not doing nothing. I guess that's what he wants to do. Hopefully he can get lucky, but that's luck right there. If he gets that, that's luck. God was looking out for him. Maybe he's going through tests from God. That's why he feels stuck. Who knows? Or maybe he made up the whole story. Maybe he made up the whole story. I don't know nobody that's gonna save another man. Do you know somebody that's gonna save another man? Because I don't. I don't know nobody that's gonna save another man. So if you feel stuck by the age of 27, 28, that's on you, bro. You've had all the resources. You grew up in a white community. The white community stresses education and they stress thinking over your future. What are you going to do for the rest of your life? They stress that over the kids. You were in those same classrooms as those kids. That's why why people are successful. They're it's right in they're told from a young age, start thinking of this. What are you gonna do? You need to work hard now, not later. Nothing will be given to you. I don't know somebody that's gonna save another man and yet alone another black man besides a black man. You shouldn't be feeling stuck in your 20s. You should be working towards something in your 20s. Your 20s, you should be working towards something in your 20s. You should be working towards something in your 20s. I'll tell you that right now. Your 20s are for working hard, gaining knowledge, gaining experience. Not everybody is down like that though. Not everybody is willing to put in the work to gain the experience. Not everybody loves the journey because they don't believe in the end result that they will get from the journey. They don't believe in it. They're pessimistic. They say, man, this will be a waste of time. I'd rather go waste my time on something that will make me prepared, give me a chance, than do nothing at all about it and give up and get stagnant. You shouldn't be feeling stuck in your 20s. If anything, you should be feeling stuck when you give up in your 50s and you did nothing from your 20s to in your 30s and your 40s, and now you want to do something in your 50s. That's when you should feel stuck. But people feel stuck in their 20s because they know they can't do anything. They don't even want to learn. If you don't even want to learn, you might as well feel stuck because you're not going to do nothing. You have to learn and you have to practice. You have to execute. You have to try. Execution is where you learn the most. Execution is where you learn the most. Execution is how you learn. Execution is how you learn. That's how you get money from execution. That's how you learn from mistakes. You learn from mistakes more than you learn from paper. Paper can prepare you to what to look for, but to actually get the execution down, you need to start doing some execution. Execution is practice. You need practice to get better at execution. Execution is how you execution is what will get the job done every time. If you've bought a bunch of distressed businesses 1,000 times and you practice building them, scaling them, all that, you're going to be more successful if you did it 1,000 times than if you did it 0 times. That's for sure. You're just going to be more successful. Even when it comes to a podcast, talking behind the camera, you're going to be more successful if you make 20 videos a day than if you make one video a week. You're just going to be more successful. You're going to get the reps in, and that's what it takes. Like, I don't know how people are feeling stuck in their 20s when that's the time of grinding. That's the time of grinding. You're supposed to go to the club in your 30s and 40s, not in your 20s. I mean, in your 20s, yeah, it looks good on paper. Looks good for the pictures. Looks good for the gram. Looks good in your videos. But get money and then owning the club, going to your own club in your 30s, in your late 30s looks better, you know. Or I own this club. Yeah, popping bottles. I get every bottle for free. I'm flexing. Oh, I'm the club owner. You know, I get money. People spending thousands a night in here. That's more. That's you know. And here's the thing: people don't get. They're playing this teenage game. Your 20s is a teenage game. Getting these girls, having fun, looking popular, looking cool, trying to be cool, getting all these tattoos, playing this game. But when in your 30s and 40s and 50s, it's a whole different game. That's what people don't realize. It's a whole different game in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's who's responsible, who has their stuff together, who has money. Being lame is not having your stuff together in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. That's being lame. That's a loser there. He's getting to that age where you're gonna be a scrub if you don't have no money, man. You're gonna be a scrub if you don't go to work every day, and that's what people don't realize. Their excuse is you need to have money to make money. No, 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 no. You need to have knowledge to make money first. You need to have knowledge to make your first 50,000. You need to have knowledge to make your first 100,000. You need to have knowledge to make your first million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million, 11 million, 100 million. You need knowledge over everything. Knowledge, expertise in one thing. That's all you need in one thing. Then you can build a team of people to help you. Even if you build a team of people to help you, you need to have knowledge on who to hire, who's the best, who's better for this team, who can make the right decisions. People will scam you and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the 20 an hour job to do nothing that I know how to do." That's what people will do to you. Happens to all business owners, even businesses that's been in business for thousands, not hundreds of years, like GM, Ford. They still hire the wrong people. People will get off on you. So you need to have the knowledge to hire the right people, to hire the right team, to get you all some money. You need to have the knowledge. Knowledge is first. Money isn't first. Money comes second after knowledge. That's a fact. Sure, from New Orleans, but hey, that's a fact. You need to have money over knowledge. Or I said that wrong. You need to have knowledge over money. Knowledge brings money. After knowledge, money comes. But people like my friend, they don't care about knowledge. That's not something that they're into. They'd rather do something else. That's how it goes. You only feel stuck when it's your fault. You only feel stuck when there's nothing else you could do because it's your fault. There's everything to do. You have so many options to do in life. It's not unlimited, but there's so many options to do. And if you feel stuck, you're not working towards anything. How could you feel stuck? You feel stuck because you were chasing women, going to clubs, still not getting no woman at the clubs. It wasn't worth it. You're just not that guy, dude. And plus, the dude who's been grinding is going to go to the club and take your girl. That's how it goes every time. That's how it goes every time. You should not be feeling stuck in your 20s. You should be working hard in your 20s towards a goal, at least towards some knowledge. Oh, you go to college, you get a job. What do I do now? I'm 22. Oh, I know what to do. Save your money and educate yourself on how to invest money. That's the best. That's the best thing to do. If you're 22 and you're at that stage, I need to make some money so I can save money and educate myself. You're ahead of so many people. So many people. If you just graduated college and you land a job and you don't know what to do next, educate yourself and save money. It might take 5 years for you to educate yourself. Imagine saving money for 5 years, living below your means. Do that for 5 years. How much money would you have? You'd have thousands. So you save only 10,000 a year. That's 50,000. They can get you a $50,000 business. In 5 years, you can buy a $500,000 business. My bad. In 5 years, saving 10,000 a year, you can buy a $500,000 business. Making over 100K a year. Now you're 5 years out of college, making 150K a year, 170K a year. Still live the same way you were living. Don't upgrade your lifestyle just yet. Save up that money. Save up more money this time. Save up 100,000 this time. Save up 120,000 this time, and then go buy 1.1 million dollar business. Go buy that next. That's the goal. After you buy that, you're making what, 200,000 a year, or just off that one business plus that 175. That's like 350 a year. You're making this is just estimate. You're making 350,000 a year. Right? Don't still live the same way. Nobody. You're not rich. You're not famous. You're not a celebrity. You're just a business owner. Nobody's gonna bother you. Nobody knows you're making this money. You're just working hard. Live below your means again. This time, pay off the first business. Pay off the second business. And this time, save up 600K. Buy you a $5 million business. Now you're making over $1 million a year. That's when you upgrade your life. That should be the goal. That's when you upgrade your life. You should never feel stuck because there's always a plan to get rich. There's always a plan to fix your finances. And the knowledge is out there. Surprisingly, even on YouTube is out there, even though YouTube has wrong knowledge out there. But the knowledge is out there to be successful in a lot of things. For free, for payment. I need that. There's courses. There's free YouTube videos. And that's just for people who don't want to read. There's also books. There's audio books as well that teach you anything about life. Anything that someone's been through. Not anything. Of course, not the occult. Of course, not stuff like that. Not government secrets, but not engineering all the way. But there's stuff to teach you on how to get rich in multiple things. You should never feel stuck, like I said. You should never feel stuck. Not in this world, not in this life. You feel stuck. Here's what I got to say. Here's you feel stuck because you wasted so much time trying to be who you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to go to school, not go to. You're supposed to get a job and work hard and save money and invest money. That's what everyone has to do in this economy. In this economy, that's what you have to do. In this economy, if you want to get rich, you have to invest the money and save the money. You can't go to the club every weekend. You can't be smoking weed every day. It costs too much money. Especially if you don't have a good job, it just costs too much. You should not be wasting money on anything. Honestly, that's what the government expects. That's what they expect you to go to school, get an education, get a good job, help society, save money, don't do drugs, don't you can drink occasionally once a month. It don't cost so much a bottle. Cheap bottles $10, $15. You can get drunk once a month. Don't smoke weed. You can actually weed's legal now. You can get high 10 times a month. That's all you need. You don't need to get high every day. Get drunk every weekend, every week. Save your money, invest it. That's what they want you to do. They expect that, but no, everybody has a side thing that they're doing. Whether it's drugs, whether it's girls, whether it's family, they're spending money on something that they shouldn't be spending money on, and that goes with everybody. If you have a good family structure and you don't need to give them money, you have good friends, you don't need to give them money. You don't need to spend money like that. You should just be saving and educating if you don't know what to do. That's all you should be doing. Save and educate. Don't feel stuck. You're getting to that age where everything shouldn't be surprising. You shouldn't be spending money on OnlyFans, spending money on subscriptions, unless if it's like Netflix and you don't have cable, or just, you don't want to buy stuff on demand, you get Netflix. Getting to that age where it's getting too serious. It's getting too serious, man. It's getting too serious. You gotta save money. You got to invest money. And to invest money, you need to save first. Even if you're making 20K a month and paying no bills, 20K ain't shit to invest. That's only a $200,000 business. That'll run you in the dirt. They'll say, oh, we're selling this at a Forex. You make 50K a year. That'll run you into the dirt. You won't do shit with that. Even if it's 20K a month, you need to save money. You need to save at least 10, 15. And that's if you're doing it yourself. If, you get money from out the streets or money out the off someone else. So you have a rich friend. Maybe you do have to keep up a lifestyle. But if you just worked hard, you went to school, all this, you don't need to flash or none of this. You don't need to flash. You need to save your money, invest it, build a brand for yourself if you want to, or keep it quiet money. But nobody wants to listen to this that I know because they it's too much to comprehend. I don't know. It's very simple. This information is even on the internet. How do you think I got this info? This info's on the internet. Keep a job and invest the money, and then still keep your job until it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's that simple. Anybody can do it. My cousin has autism. He saved up 50K, 60K, something like that. He just needs to educate himself and invest the money. He saved up 50, 60K, working a job at like Pizza Hut or something, you know. Say he doesn't buy new clothes or nothing. He just saves his money, invests, work. Light skin dude, you know? Like 6'5", skinny, autistic. He could be rich one day if he invests his money right. He's still saving money. He's still probably trying to educate himself. What should he do with the money? But he'll get it one day. I believe. I believe he'll make a good investment. At this rate, he's gonna be 100,000 in the next 2-3 years if he still saves his money, doesn't spend it. And that's just off of working at Pizza Hut. You can do the same thing. If my cousin can do it, my autistic cousin can do it, and save for 50 racks, you can do the same thing. And you can invest and educate yourself. You can do it. Because you shouldn't be feeling stuck at this age. I'm going to keep saying it and I won't stop saying it. You should never be feeling stuck in your 20s. You should be working towards a goal, any goal, whether it's content creation, art, business, media company, anything, school, education, interview skills, job, anything. You should be working towards something. You're only going to feel stuck if you got a dead end job and you have no education on how to how to better your circumstances. That's the only way that you should be feeling stuck, and that's why people do feel stuck because they're not doing the right things in their young age. This is a young game. You have to start this game young. It's a kid's game as well as an adult game. It's like basketball, football. It's a kid's game. You start as a kid, you start training, and you get good as an adult. You have to start young. You have to start thinking of this young. You have to start thinking different young. You can't be having fun. You was having fun until you was 26. Now you're fucked up. It's not a good thing to happen, man. Should never be feeling messed up before the age of 40. The only people, if you notice, the only people who messed up at 40 are the people who have fun the whole time instead of working hard, putting their head down, and then being comfortable. Comfortability is the new fun in your 30s and 40s and 50s. No. Comfortability, success is the new fun. Not going out saying, being able to brag about stories to your friends. Oh, I hit that one girl, man. Oh, I was high as hell that one time, man. Oh yeah, I put my strap out on that one. No, man, that's not. It's a whole different game in your 30s, 40s, 50s. It's about money, success, shit together, everything. You're not playing this thug game. You want to be a thug in your 20s, and then you want to complain like a good man, like you did everything right. Once 30 coming around. But hey, that's what people want to do, man. That's what they want to do. They're stuck in the age of 16, 17, 15. They're stuck in that mindset. They're stuck with the same goals. They can't do anything about it. It's really a sad thing to think about. You're stuck in the same mindset as 16, 15, 17. People are going to say you peaked. That's what people say, you peaked. You're the same person. You ain't change at all. You ain't mature. You ain't get money. You didn't care. You cared about having fun, looking cool to who? Because now the nerd, the dude who put his head down, was working hard, is the one looking cool now. That's who's looking cool now. The dude with his stuff together. I mean, what can you do about that? Everybody, you've grown up in the school system as everybody else. As all the successful people that you grew up with, you had the same opportunities as them. And this is to everybody who failed. You had the same opportunities as them. There's successful people, or at least people that you should find success. If you feel stuck, there's successful people everywhere to you. If you're up M's, up hundreds of thousands, there's not really that many successful people. If you're happy in life, but if you're stuck, feeling frustrated, feeling down, there's successful people everywhere. And you could have been one of them just by getting an education, or by putting your head down and working, by educating yourself. If you don't get an education in school, you have to educate yourself in something outside of school. And then you have to be successful in that. See, it's easier to educate yourself in school than get a job than it is to educate yourself outside of school. In school, someone's holding your hand, teaching you the information, or at least telling you what to read, what to study to get the knowledge, you know. But if you do it outside of school, you have to teach yourself that knowledge. You have to go and find the right sources that will give you the right knowledge. Like a teacher did. That's what teachers do. They go out, they read a bunch of textbooks. Well, I like this one. This one has the right knowledge that I want to teach. Let me teach this. Let me tell them to read this. That's what you got to do yourself. You got to find the right sources yourself, which will make you have to read more sources. You'll have to read more sources to find the right source and to educate yourself in the right stuff. That's what you got to do if you don't go to school. But if you go to school, get a good job, invest that money, you can fail at your investment. If you don't go to school, you get a bad job, you have to make your first investment to succeed. And if that first investment doesn't succeed, it could take you 5 to 20 years just to get out the debt and to save up money just for your next investment. Think of it like this. If you go to school and get a 60K a year job, 70K a year job after 5 years after school, and you live the same way as the dude making 30K a year, you're saving so much more money to invest so you can be a multimillionaire, 100,000 there. If you're making 300K a year, that's when you should move out, upgrade your lifestyle. If you're broke, 300K, then the next one is $1 million a year before you upgrade again. That's what I believe. That's what you should be doing. You got to play this conservative. You got to play this smart. You got to build your plan for yourself. This is just knowledge that I'm giving to you, a whole different perspective that I'm giving to you that you could use to build your own perspective, build your own plan to get where you need to be. That's all this is. That's all this is. Just some knowledge, just some game that I'm laying down for you. How to get rich. Just some game I'm laying down for you. I don't know how else to put it. You gotta keep your job and you gotta save money and then you gotta invest the money and the investment's gotta hit. You don't got a 300x in 10 years. You just gotta, you have to 1x every 3 years basically. That's what you have to do with your investment. You invest 300,000, you gotta make 300,000 every 3 years, 2 to 3 years. But the more you invest, the longer it should take. Say you invest 4 million, you should make that back in 4 to 6 years. That's how you make money. Investments. The most lucrative investment you can make is buying a business. That is the most lucrative investment. Better than the stock market, better than bonds, better than T bills, better than gold, better than jewelry, better than house, better than real estate. It's business. Buying a flowing cash flowing asset as your investment. That's the best investment to make. It's cash flowing assets. And if you don't listen to this knowledge and you're young, you will be feeling stuck at 27, 28, just like somebody I know. I'm not feeling stuck. I have a plan I have a plan given to me by people who are already millionaires. I know what to do. I'm just trying to lay down game. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But hey, don't be feeling stuck. You feel stuck because you was having fun. You're still having fun, still smoking weed every day. But hey, that's how it goes. I'm out.